What is up, YouTube land? How are you guys doing today? Johnny
Nothing but
boy,
YouTube.
how are you?
I'm good, man.
We're on
Good.
YouTube and Twitch. That's it. I said last week, we're just going to that. We're not doing Twitter anymore because nobody's talking, and I'd rather it be on the formats of those two. It's a lot easier to export, import videos too for me by doing that. So
I didn't even know we were on the Tweety. So
we were on the Tweety. You didn't know. You just show up.
I just work here.
I
That's
just
it.
work here.
I
You tell me what to do.
yeah, just dance, puppet dance.
Dance, puppets. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's jump to the sponsor. My brother's site, Linger Lures. Dude, I've been telling you what. I've been seeing a lot of pictures. You've been seeing all these fish they've been catching like crazy.
Yeah, dude, I've seen them, man.
Dude,
It's awesome.
it is nuts, man. And I saw some of them yesterday. I talked to him and everything. His product is in a store around the corner, and he's like, "Dude, I've been getting checks all the time. I've been hooking them up and stuff like that. His stuff's been going out pretty good. So, but you go to his site, order stuff, dude. He makes it by hand, send it to him. It's all him. He doesn't have no people in the factory doing the stuff for him. It's Brown USA stuff. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, check out his stuff, man. It's really good. And want to say Happy Father's Day, John.
Yeah,
Hope you
yep.
had a good
Happy
day with
Father's Day.
that,
Oh
and
yeah.
everybody else out there, and all you women out there that act like the men too, because the men ain't fucking around. So Happy Father's Day to you too, and no shit about that. Dead
Yep.
serious. And to my dad, that dude. I should go get my sunglasses. Hang on, let's do this. Hang on. I can get. Tell me I'm not my dad. I
That's
am
it right
totally
there,
my
man.
dad right there. I just need my Hawaiian
Just,
shirt. I used to have
yep.
Hawaiian shirts, but I can't. I don't know what happened to them.
Next week, and then you just have the stash next week.
You know, that's funny. I could pull that off. With the goatee, I could pull it off. Yeah, I'm all clean shaved now. No hobo beard anymore. So,
Yeah, I've
all
been
right.
considering, but I'm too lazy. So.
Well, it's one of those things where your kid's like, man, you should have your beard. I was like, all right, I'll do it, kiddo. Blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, she's like, you should cut it. I'm like, oh, man. I'll cut it.
Ah, fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into this band, Black Flag. Black Flag is a punk rock band formed in '76. I didn't know it was that far back. Initially called
I
Panic.
didn't either.
Do you recognize the word Panic as a band name?
Yeah, there was another band named Panic.
Yes, it was. That was Dave Mustaine was in a band called Panic in California, also as the guitarist, before he jumped to Metallica.
Metallica.
I don't know if it's the same band. I noticed it. I was like, huh.
I
I see no
don't think
mentions of it though.
I don't think it was. I think it was. I think they changed to Black Flag because of the other band, Panic.
That's right.
To not be confused.
That's right. And how we talked about Greg Ginn, he's been the sole everything, and pretty much it's been through the console of member changes, um, reunions, stuff like that. So it's kind of one of those type of bands, going through. Um, but yeah, Black Flag. It's one of those bands that I've heard so many times, and I've never listened to them. And I was kind of glad I did because I grew up heavy metal. I kind of got into punk for a little bit. I never went to like Bad Brains or like um,
Right.
Fugazi, stuff like that, Black Flag. I never went to that era, and now
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to be like, okay, I know Black Flag now. It's not because of the logo that everybody
Right.
knows.
That everybody knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And funny enough, you hear cover songs of Black Flag, and you're like,
Uh,
oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
cool. Thirsty and Miserable, Hatebreed did that one. Rise Above, the Misfits have done that,
Mhm.
and um, but yeah, not many albums though, as you can tell.
Lots of EPs though.
A lot of EPs, a lot. Well, let's jump into the albums. We'll go through the history and blend it in a little bit because there is some history to three albums that came out in the same
Same
year.
year.
And there's a reason behind it. I don't know if you saw that, but I'll iterate. Yeah,
Reiterate.
yeah, sure. All right, let's spin this motherfucker. Let's quit talking. Let's spin this bitch.
Down to business, damn it.
All right. Cool album covers though. I
Yeah,
like the
they
artwork.
was it somebody's brother was the
Oh man, you're right. Like it used to be the
was the artist.
bassist or something. He
Yeah,
became the manager or
he
something.
filled in on bass for a little bit and then became
Yeah.
the manager. Ah,
Ah,
Damage.
Damage. Do you want to take this one?
I liked it. It was a good. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, obviously for being 1981, uh, the 80s production.
Right.
But I don't know if it was like because they have that like do it yourself mentality,
That was the
work
punk rock
ethic,
way. DIY,
you
man.
know.
Very much.
So I don't. I mean, the production was obviously it sounded like I used my boombox in my basement to record it.
Glorified practices. That's what
Yeah,
I call them.
yeah. Well, and that's kind of what it sounded like.
Sure.
But yeah, it was good, man. It was I was surprised from it.
So,
It's like it was just like again, I like to use the word fun.
sure.
It was a fun album.
It was. I
Not
gave it an 8 out of 10. Initially, that when I heard it, I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And to go on what you were saying about sound, the first thing I wrote was raw as raw can get with sound. Rollins is good, but it's not peak Rollins.
it
If that
wasn't
makes
there
sense.
yet.
It wasn't
Yeah.
there yet. I feel
There
like
was still there's still like a little bit of that old like not taking yourself seriously,
yes,
just again the word fun,
yes.
just fun stuff.
I,
And
I kind of wrote that it felt like a live performance. Like they were always together, played together. They didn't like layer. They didn't track. They played all together. Kind of. All right, let's get the album done. That's that DUI,
Right.
punk rock way.
Yep.
Get it done. Get it done.
Yep. All
So
in the same room recording it and just hit record and see what happens.
exactly.
Like I like TV Party and
Sure.
Gimme Gimme were some great songs on there.
Rise Above was the very first track in Thirsty and
Rise
Miserable.
Above. Yep.
That is Rise Above is their go-to song. That is everybody knows Black Flag from that song. That was their hit,
Yep.
if you want to call it that. That was their hit. I
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how like Damage 2 is like halfway up the track list and they
Damage
end with
1,
Damage
yeah.
1. Like I imagine that might have been on
Sure.
purpose. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.
But okay.
I
well,
appreciate it for being a debut album of punk at its earliest form. I think it did great.
Yeah.
Now, as something we're going to start doing now, where are we going to put this? Where do you want to put it?
Oh, do we want to put it in the?
It's your thing. Where do you want to put it?
Oh,
This
let's
is up to you.
see.
Where?
Where? What should we call the category?
Yeah, we should. What? That is a good question. What are we going to call the categories? So let's see.
What's a good one?
What is going to jump out? Um. Hmm. We will name the first one. Where are we name the first one?
This is a lot tougher when we're on the
I know we're on the
top.
We're gonna name the D1 Ghetto. Because it's
Ghetto?
Ghetto. Because my ghetto. We'll call it the Ghetto. We'll do that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
S tier, we'll say Damaged.
Damaged, all right.
But we're gonna spell it how the band used to be. DAMANG.
And
That's right. That's right.
that's right.
That's right. What do you want to name A? What do you feel?
Yeah, let's see.
What do you feel?
Let's see, I'm just kind of going through. Hey, how about Rise Above?
Rise Above. With there we go. B, we'll call it Black Coffee.
Yep, I like that.
Black Coffee.
That's another good track on it.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Shut up.
Don't give it away. All right, C, we'll call that.
In my head.
In my head. In my head. Nope. Kent? No.
In my head.
Yeah. All right, cool.
It's in my head. Where is it? It's in
All
my
right.
head.
What are we? What? Yeah. All right. Where are we going to put Damage? What do you think?
Well, I think Damage should be in the Damage category.
I say that too. This is the go-to album that you're like, this is Rise Above. I mean, sorry, this is Black Flag. To the T. Full disclosure. Be like, what does Black Flag sound like? I probably would give him that one. I gave it an 8. I think it's good. I'm okay with that. That's fine with me. That's perfect. Yeah. All right. Funny how you start with the first one.
Has that happened before?
I don't think it has. That's the very first one. All the rest started out with shitty ones.
Yeah. Yeah, usually it's the worst album that it starts.
It is. And it starts working its way.
That's working its way back. It's like, you know what? We're going to try something different this time.
Yeah. Oh, this one.
Speaking of worst albums.
Oh, full disclosure, my brother put that out of 7. Damaged is number 6. He did not like it.
Really?
He made it a 6. I was like, huh. But you know what's funny? This album, he gave this a 2 out of 7. He thinks this is close to being number 1. Dude,
this is
garbage.
It's terrible.
It is. On scale, Red is the best album.
I still
on the scale, Red is the best album. What? What, Shark?
What band are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Red. You mean Slip It In? Slip It In is Red. Or you mean, how does the scale work? Oh, scale. So the S is the best, and it works its way down. So Damage is S, Rise is A, Black Coffee's B, In My Head is C, Ghetto is, well, Ghetto. It's the worst.
That's
Dude,
what makes it.
this album, your tier list, The Color Red. Oh yeah. So Damage is we use the song titles as the list names. That's kind of our stitch. Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna do. Red means it's like top tier. This is one you should be listening to. This is what you should be listening to. The green, just like the puke coming out of that dude's throat or his tongue, is, dude. I could not. I think I gave it like a 3.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, I get it. It was going back to like the short punk songs that are like 2 minutes or less, and that's fine. But like, I feel like there was that Joe Jackson Got the Time bass riff
Wow.
throughout the album. Like, I don't know how many songs they started with that riff, and I was like, dude, there's 22 songs on here.
22 many.
What are you?
It's 22 many.
And like more than half had that riff in it somehow. And
you know, I tried to listen to it. That was the first album where I could not listen to it for a second time. It was.
Yeah, I was actually listening to it right before like I got on.
I am so sorry.
And
I'm so sorry, dude.
Because I was down in here doing some stuff.
I wish my brother was here. I was like, why in the world did you give it a 2? You know, the second best. As soon as I saw his list, I didn't say a word. It's like, all right, thank you. I appreciate you listening to it.
Appreciate you, yeah. But yeah, my best girl was over there just doing some other stuff, and she's like, "What band is this?" I said, "Well, it's Black Flag," and she's like, "Oh, okay," and then went on about her day.
Straight garbage, man.
It's awful.
It's awful.
There was nothing that I could be like, "Oh, hey, that's a great song," or
trying to save it or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, just like this is.
It sounded like shit, but you gave it. Hold up, Lee. Hold up. Your list. Lee's in the chat right now. He's in the chat. I liked it. Why did you like it? I'm so glad he's here. I'm so glad he's here. Why did you like it? Because me and him, it was straight garbage. Garbage is too nice. What's another word for garbage that could be less than garbage?
Excrement?
There you go. Cremation? No. Vocals sounded better?
Sir.
What?
It wasn't even Henry Rollins singing.
It wasn't Henry Rollins.
It was some other dude.
I don't think he understands the Rollins. He does not understand
I don't think so.
Sir Henry.
I don't think so.
You're missing out. He's a funny guy, and he's Mr. Punk Rock to the just like you don't want to mess with to the freaking core. That dude lived and breathed. That's probably why then. You're mean.
Like
I
feel like Henry Rollins is the type of guy that would like fight you in the middle of the street just because.
But he's like sweet as guy.
He's a super quiet guy though.
You gotta really mess with him to make something happen. But okay, look, Black Flag, being who they are, their name is the 4. I mean, right.
4 bars. Yeah.
The 4 bars, right there.
That's it, right there.
That is Black Flag. Now I like Henry. You should. He's going to come there and break your neck. Dude's 70 years old, still kick your ass.
Yep.
Like, Rollins is Black Flag.
Yep.
He is. Dez, the guitarist, Kennedy, no, Dez, whatever. Glenn Ginn did start it, and Henry came in because somebody couldn't sing or something like
Yeah, he
that.
blew his the guy that was singing blew his voice out on the
Yep.
tour, and
And
he couldn't
Henry.
sing anymore.
So Henry was helping the band.
Ray,
What?
yeah, yeah, he was helping, just
Yeah,
kind of
in the
like,
background learning.
yeah, he was like roadieing.
Yes, and it was he is Black Flag. He is the dude is man. It's
Yep.
hard to be honest. The punk stuff not really in my cup of tea. I hear you. It is kind of hard to kind of listen to an album. You're like, what songs? What what changed? You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I feel like punk rock has that issue. Not only Black Flag, but like even the Misfits, Bad Brains, certain punk rock bands. I'm trying to think of more. I can. Um, a lot of their songs kind of are cookie cutouts of each other. They'll play a different little part, and it's like, oh, hey, it's different. So, nah, man, same
No, it's
freaking
the
drum
same thing.
beat.
Yeah.
The drums are, I think, is the problem. The drums for every song are exactly the same beat, 4/4 time. Um, we'll get into the other albums. I do have opinions about it. Um,
Yeah.
but being with that, he gave it. I mean, I'm glad he's here to defend it. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here to defend it, Lee. I really am because we were so curious. I'm like,
Why?
what? You put Damage at 6. I think Damage the we appreciate what it is, but it's the listener's ear for this day and age wants everything to be 3D in their ears. It's like you got to understand the concept in '81. The production
Hmm.
was $1,000, but the playing was 10,000. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
type of thing. Um, just couple guys. This is us drinking beer and talking shit. you know.
Yep.
Uh, loose nut.
Yeah.
You have loose nuts.
God, I hope not.
I hope not.
I hope not.
Okay.
I don't know. This one kind of falls in the middle for me because this was
Okay.
one of those I was listening to at work and people kept bothering me, so I had to stop it and start
Sure.
it. Um, I feel like, oh man, I think Annihilate this week. Any song they have that deals
Yes.
with destroying things
Yes. Now she's
is,
black. I do like the riffs in that. When it gets through the little intro into that song, that's a killer song. But Annihilate this week, I love the backgrounds. Monday, Annihilate, Tuesday.
uh,
It's one of those anthem ones you could be out playing and people just like, something to sing with. They got a lot of backlash for this album though. They got a lot because of the playing of it. And people are like, oh, you're trying to be metal and slow groove metal, not punk rock and da 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 da. They got a lot of shit for it. You know what I mean? Modern Man, Loose Nut, that's a pretty good one too.
yeah.
I gave it a 7.5. I gave it a 7.5. I started with 8.
I don't. Is it me or like are the solos like that's not? You should probably not do that.
Yes. It's funny. I wrote that in a different.
Because it's not just this album.
No, it's not. You're exactly right.
It would be like if I went and picked up a guitar and tried to just like it's like okay, play a solo. Okay, that's what it would sound like. And
it,
I don't.
it felt like he was practicing while they were recording, and this is what came out of practicing.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes. Here, come up with solo. That's a 5-minute solo.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
I was because it just if it's on purpose, then fine. I understand. I get it, but it's like, oh man.
So
really,
what stuck with me? The quality was better on this album. I thought the production quality was a lot better. Rollins sounded really good. I thought his energy, you could feel the energy. He was in his element.
Yep.
Also, too, the songs I wrote down were really a lot easier to listen to. Um, I guess what you were saying about they were easy to listen to, but they always had that moment like, God, you just really messed up the song with this stupid guitar work. Why did you throw it in there? And I think that
Yeah.
Glenn Ginn is the issue. He's the guy. Blame him.
Damn it, Glenn.
I better be off at 9 o'clock because House of Dragons come on. Oh no!
Oh no!
House of Dragons. Oh, you're like a D&D stuff, huh?
Yep.
Look at the disappointment in John's face.
Send your cease and desist letters right here. Send them. Send them to him. Send them to him. He'll forward them to me.
Yeah, I'll forward it. I gave Loose Nut a 7.5. Where do you want to put that? Where do you think it should go?
I would put it. Like I said, it was kind of it was like kind of one of those in the middle for me.
Black coffee.
So yeah,
7.5 for me is kind of. I mean, 5 is in the middle of the road, but I feel like Black Coffee is one of those you can listen to it, and you probably could go back to it and just listen to it like one. I did, and luckily enough, only. What's great about having, a certain amount of albums is that
you can do that.
I can do that. Am I missing an album?
Yeah, my Family Man, I think.
I feel like that was. Oh, where's Family Man? Huh. What in the hell? Huh, it didn't come up. Alright, well.
Producer's fired.
Nah. Well, I was downloading the albums, but I guess it never came through. Oh, there it is. So, when I do save, like the albums or whatever, it's supposed to come up. There it is. Ta-da! In your face. Hey! No, I forgot to put it in this one. So we do. Oh, you're seeing all the behind the scenes. There we go. All right. I was like, man, I know I'm forgetting one. My bad. Yeah, it is Black Coffee. I enjoyed it. If I gave something a 7 or better, I listened to it twice. And it's great because some of these albums I can pick 2 to 3. And I'm like, okay, it's worthy. But man, they got some weird songs on these albums too.
Yeah.
They got some weird songs, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
All right, to the wheel.
To the wheel we go.
To the wheel. All right. Yeah, 7 albums. I could digest them pretty easily.
Yeah.
That's what's the great part about punk rock, John?
Short songs.
Thank you. 30 minutes. You're telling me none of you guys have 30 minutes to listen to an album? You're full of it. You're straight full of it. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, Family Man. Family Man. How about that?
It is Family Man.
Oh, wow.
All right, yeah. Family Man. Dude, I gave this a 5.
Yeah. It really surprised me. Like the first half with his like
spoken words
and poetry stuff.
Well,
which I can respect him for that 100%.
Sure.
I feel like he has a vendetta against fathers. I don't know.
True.
Or maybe he has an issue with his own father. I don't know. Henry Rollins, if you're out there, if you want to chat sometime.
If you want to chat, I'm here.
I'm here for you.
That's right. I wrote down. I appreciate the spoken words because that's what Henry Rollins did after Black Flag.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pre Rollins of his spoken word tour, which he does very accomplishedly throughout traveling and everything, going across the world doing it. The guy's really funny too. I can see why.
Yeah.
And these spoken, I'm like, oh,
Like
but
salt on a slug.
yeah, right. But you know what's still the problem is I wrote down playing is still junky and okay.
Yeah. Well, and like I had, you have what is it, Armageddon Man, I think
Yes.
is like the 8.5 minute song.
I was surprised by that. I never thought of an 8 minute song, but it was the same.
It was just same thing over and over,
Mm,
and then he just kept saying words, and
yep,
then after that, everything was instrumental. So
yep. It,
he's like, I did my part in the first half, and all right, you guys had the second half. I don't.
you,
I mean, I, I don't
I,
know if that was the thing for it, but that's
I'm glad to put it in my head. It's
yeah.
I give it a 5. I'm kind of surprised. It's still better than what the.
And what the
All right, Lee. Thank you
shit
for
is at the
coming.
bottom
Appreciate
there?
it. Appreciate your list. Thank you. Tell Michelle I said hey and have fun with dragons. I don't know. But I would say that. Lee. Lee said he gave it a 5 out of the 7. It was the 5th one. It was bottom of his tier too. Um, so we do have to put a exclaimer to this because you had 3 of their albums came out in the same year.
Yep.
I feel like this
84.
album now disclaimer for why they were getting sued by the record company and they couldn't use the word their name Black Flag. Those 3 albums came out in 84. I feel like that was a throwaway. Like they were like, oh, we'll just put it out there. We'll do whatever we want. You know, we're going to put it out there. And it was one of those just
Do it yourself.
do it yourself. I feel like they recorded this out of the blue. They recorded the other 2 in the same in those 3
Same.
years. So
Same kind of just. I feel like
Yeah.
recording today.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like it could have been not a full length album, but
Yeah, I
like
thought it
something
might have
different.
been like an EP or something, and then.
It's full length. It's a full length. I
But
couldn't. It's a
I mean,
studio album. I couldn't believe it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
It
Well,
should have been an EP. You're right. It should have been.
yeah, just because like you could have done either the spoken word thing, or you could have done the other half of it, and
Yep. You're right. You're exactly right. And actually, that was. It should have been an extension of something. Maybe not Black Flag, but um, a B side or something.
something. Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't know. Hell, they could have done a double album and have that, as something with it because the other 2 albums were the same year too. Which, I gave it in my head. There's some good parts with the spoken words. I can appreciate it. So I'm gonna say in my head. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I go with it.
Yeah, I mean, and again, some of the instrumental stuff, I can appreciate that too.
Sure. Do that.
Um,
All right, let's next. In my head. All right. In my head. Johnny boy, you're up. What did you think about it?
I do not have any notes for that. What the fuck just happened?
I gave it a 7.
I liked it. This is one of the ones I listened to twice.
I listened to this all day. Like, there was a set of songs that it went from drinking and driving.
Yep.
Retired at 21.
Mm-hmm.
And Society Tease. Society Tease is probably my favorite song from them.
Oh, I wrote that down. Paralyzed. Okay. What a dumbass.
Paralyzed is a pretty good song too, but I Can See You what a weird, that is the weirdest song
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
Yep.
And that's,
Yeah. Is that the one? My eyes or your shit? What is it? Your eyes are my obsession or something?
yes. It's such a weird
That's a
album.
weird damn song, and like,
it is.
and You Let Me Down is another one that's kind of weird.
Yes. Strange songs, but it had really kick-ass songs. Dude, Society Tease, that album, that song told me they should have went that direction after this album. They should have went Rollins having kick-ass like lyrics that he had in that song.
Mm-hmm.
The guitar, except that little stupid fumble thing he does in the middle of it, that little whatever. The riffs are great in that song. It showed that his guitar work is good, but I think he does that weird stuff for his punk rock influence of, well, I don't want it to be clean. I want it to be dirty.
Right, so that's why it sounds like shitty guitar solos.
They do it on purpose. And whatever, if you want to do that, that's fine. But man, that could have been a killer.
It could have been better.
It could have been better. I wrote down strange songs, but good songs.
Yeah.
Guitar tone was awesome on it when he plays the metal side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Drum work I thought was pretty good too. The cracking of the snare sounded really good in those songs. But the problem is with those songs, I would listen to 3 of them, and that's it. I would try to listen to like White Hot and I Love You and Paralyzed. Paralyzed was okay. Let me take that back. That was okay. But like I Can See You, what a weird, just
that's a weird song.
It's such a weird song. But where, Mr. Sullivan, would you like to put it as?
I mean, because again, you have sections, right, where there's good stuff. So, like, overall, it's kind of weird. So, it's kind of like it's like in between Black Coffee and In My Head for me.
Okay, we'll put this on the back side of Black Coffee.
Yeah.
Like the backside here, or do you want to put it like right there? Like right there?
Yeah, I think right there.
Okay. It's one of those lawnmower albums, but I did pick those songs. Drinking and Driving, I thought was a cool song. Tells you the danger of drinking and driving. I thought that was a great PSA. I really did. You don't hear that.
No.
Minor Threat kind of did that, which was his best friend Ian, whatever, that got him in the band. They don't drink. He doesn't drink. He's straight edge. I feel like that was kind of a song. And Society Tease, dude, those 2 songs. I just like, man, I wish I had more of that. I wish I had more of that type. Oh man, that was so good.
Yeah, even Retired at 21, like that.
It was pretty good too.
That little trilogy of songs right there was pretty good.
It was. You're exactly right. All right.
Yeah.
Down to 2. Which these 2 are part of that trilogy of albums that came out in the same year. And I think it's going to be Slip It In. All right, Slip It In. I also gave this a 7.5. Musicianship is way better. Production is better and enjoyable. Like, it was very enjoyable. Rollins is aggressive and psychologically demanding in this music.
Yeah, I put like death vocals down, like he's got some kind of like death metal vocals.
He does. Dude, Black Coffee. What a killer song.
It's a great song. And like again, obliteration.
Yep,
Again, anything to deal with destruction, they always nail those songs.
they do. That's that punk rock vibe because they're trying to
Yeah,
warn people. They're warning this is what's going to happen. There's always the dark side of music. We're going to show you it instead of being the Eagles, where it shows you the lighter stuff of life. No, there's the black. There's the good and the bad. We're going to show you all the bad because it might make you good.
yeah,
We'll be the scapegoats to
yep.
help you out in life.
And it wouldn't be a Black Flag song without a really weird song. And what song is that?
Rat's eyes.
That's it.
Rat's eyes. It's
I don't know what his
you
obsession
don't
is with
feed
that.
me, you know.
You know,
Well, he
like
grew up in Baltimore. He's a DC guy,
he's a DC guy. I know.
so I bet you he saw.
He's
It's that.
probably seen some in his day.
I guess it's one of those. Um, is that you ever heard of the phrase tongue in cheek?
Yeah.
It's a tongue in cheek. I bet you ICU is kind of like a psychopath. This is
Yeah.
a guy's mental. I see you.
Yeah.
It just makes your skin crawl of the song.
Yeah.
I don't care for it because it's so weird. Just like that one. I can appreciate it. I'm like, oh, you're being a PSA. You're trying to tell people.
Yeah.
I will put this in front of Black Coffee. I think it was better than
Loose Nut.
Loose Nut. I feel. I mean, it's just it's better than Loose Nut, and being a 7.5, it's kind of the. It's close to being Rise Above. It's very close, but Black Coffee. I mean, also to slip it in. What a interesting.
What a
So,
great title.
what an interesting song.
Yeah.
Um,
That's very
really,
true.
really, Black Coffee and Obliteration are the two songs I would go to.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like the
for sure.
greatest hits. Those were the
Mhm.
two I would probably bring. But other than that, the production was pretty good. I really liked it more than a lot of others. So, what's left?
My War. I believe.
My War. All right. We'll take that off. My War. What did you think about My War?
I don't remember. The only thing I had on there was the '80s production.
So, My War, I gave that an 8.5. That is my number one album from them. Damaged was number two. Lee did not like this is his worst one. He gave it a 7 out of 7. And I wrote down Rollins is great with his vocal approach. Energy is awesome from Rollins too. I felt it more. Musicianship is better, but still the punk vibe is there too at the same time,
Yeah.
which I feel like this album they did a really good job with it, which My War, great song.
Yeah.
Um
And I think this is where they were kind of getting away from the
punkish.
fun, happy, punkish stuff to his spoken word
Yes.
poetry.
Beat My Head Against the Wall. That's a good one too. I
Yeah.
would put that on the list. I feel like My War, Beat My Head those were the two. But you got like the Swing Man, you
Yeah.
know, the weird one.
Yeah.
Nothing Left Inside is okay too. But I really dug this album. I thought this was
I
you know
might go
what's
back. I might go back and listen to this one again, just because, like I said,
yeah.
I don't remember it.
I thought this was the best one overall that I feel like I have to put it up here with Damaged. I feel like I see a lot of people with that shirt, and I know why. I always wonder, say, man, I always saw people with but I noticed the first time I noticed that album, was from Igor Calavera from Sepultura, and the
Yeah,
drummer.
yeah,
He had that shirt on. I was like, that's a weird blue shirt. And I noticed the picture years ago. Didn't even think about it. All of a sudden, I saw the cover. I was like, oh, that's the album he wore the shirt, and he said he loved from Black Flag. I know why, because it was, of course, Damaged is the album, but My War is the album to me.
yeah.
That is, Damage is a great start. My War is, this is what it could have been to a certain extent. You could hear that in the albums after Society Tease and everything. My War kind of sounded like that too. It was good. I think Damage and My War is one of those two albums everybody should listen to. Maybe not front to back, but man, those two albums together, good to go.
Yep.
I think. And yeah, short list, man. Short list.
Yeah.
Overall,
If anyone is interested, they are playing in Manassas at
really?
the Salisbury Center on August 17th
Get
at 3
out.
p.m. It's an afternoon show.
Wow.
And at the Bright Box Theater in Winchester on Monday, August 19th at 7:30. So there you go.
Well, still torn. Whole new lineup except Glenn Ginn, whatever his name. He's
Whatever
the only
that
one.
dude's name is.
Yeah. I think Black Flag should have ended a long time ago. This whole
Probably around 2013.
Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Glenn.
Sorry, Glenn. I mean, it's one of those things where, look, you don't have Henry in there. Maybe you should make a different album underneath a different name.
Yeah.
That should have been a different name.
Like any of the other names of bands that he did before.
I know, right? It's like, dude, you can I understand why you're using Black Flag. That is your baby. I understand that.
The money for it or whatever.
I will quote REM. Remember REM?
Oh yeah, great band.
Remember REM? There was an interview today with them. I saw on YouTube, asking why they do not get back together. It's been 15 years. They're like, why? Dude, it's been a long time since they got back together. Should check that out. They had an interview with CBS. They came together for a couple songs for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently or something. It's been 15 years when they ended. They're like, the interviewer, he's an old guy, but he's like, look, I'm going to get crucified if I don't ask you guys this. And it's not, me being a reporter, I have to do it. What will it take for you guys to get back together? And one of them said, a comet. I'm like, huh, wow. But
was that Stipe?
No, it was the guy with the glasses. It was the guy with the glasses. Spike just sat there.
Guy.
Yeah. No, he's the guitarist.
Oh, the guitarist. Yeah, that's right.
He's the guitarist. And you got the unibrow. He was the drummer.
Yeah.
The really bad unibrow.
I always thought, he had an interesting playing style.
He had a brain tumor. It almost killed him, too. Long time ago.
And I remember watching them on Saturday Night Live one time.
Okay.
And instead of, I got back there, I got my little stick bin on my hi-hat. He had sticks in his pocket.
Huh.
So I guess if he dropped one, then you just pull right out of your pocket.
I see a lot of them sitting on them. They sit on them. They stick out. I feel like too.
I feel like that would just break.
I think Grohl used to do that when he was in Nirvana, or a lot of punk rock guys used to do that. Must be a hardcore thing. I don't know.
I guess. Well, punk rock guys are skinny dudes too, so my fat ass would probably break shit when I sit on it. So.
This is not fat shaming on this channel, all right?
I'm shaming myself. I'm not fat shaming anybody.
Well, it's just when you hear bands like REM that were way bigger than Black Flag, right?
Yep.
They knew when to bow out. They're like, look, there is no amount of money. We have integrity for ourselves. We like each other, but it's the whole point. We left on the high note. If we go back and do a reunion, all our legacy is gone.
Yep.
And I feel like that happened at Black Flag. But also, too, I feel like Glenn probably felt like Henry Rollins stabbed him in the back when he started his other band, the Rollins band. Like he got bigger than Black Flag. Rollins was way bigger than Black Flag itself, and he became his own machine of wealth. Nobody knows who Glenn Ginn is. Nobody knows who in the hell that is. Nobody
does. He's the one that called Rollins and said he was quitting the band.
Yes, and see that's the thing where I think he's very bitter because he sued him too.
Yeah, him and the other guy.
Dez. I think it's Dez.
Was it Dez Cadena?
Yes. I think it was him.
For using like the copyright. Like they were trying to file copyrights or something for it.
Because they were trying to use the word flag, just flag. They were going to play under the word flag, not Black Flag.
Just flag. Oh, okay.
But Glenn got mad, said, no, it's copyright infringement. And the court was like, nope, throw it out.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's a distinctive difference. That's why they did it. If they would have used Black Flag or just the symbol, yes, that's copyright infringement.
Yeah, I do recall hearing about that.
I just read it.
Well, I mean, I did. I read it too, but then like thinking about it, I'm like, that does sound like something I heard a while back. Like
probably from Blabbermouth or something.
Yeah, the greatest website ever.
The greatest website ever. Yeah, I hear it. All right.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Everyone's favorite website for sure.
I know, right? Let's go that. And well, how do we feel about Black Flag?
I mean, obviously, for anybody with half a brain, the Rollins era is Black Flag. That whatever that last thing was is not.
I hear you. I personally think Black Flag is. I understand the legacy of it.
Sure.
Personally, I think it's besides that Abomination that's green. I give them a B. B minus. I think they are a good band. They could have been something more.
Yep.
But maybe that's the charm of Black Flag. Maybe that's the charm of it. If it was just Damage, My War, Slip It In, Loose Nut, and Family, I would have gave him a B to whatever. But you got Family Man, and what the kind of brings them down. Sucks, really does. But now I understand where Rollins came from. Now I understand the legacy of it. So, all right, that's Black Flag.
Is why we do this.
This is why we do it. I appreciate it. I've never listened to Black Flag, and this was the first time, and I feel more musically sound of, hey, when somebody talks about Black Flag, I can contribute. And I could be the guy that wears the t-shirt and know who they are and not be like, oh, is it cool? 5 out of 7 albums are middle tier below, and it's still... So, the way I look at it, if you give it the numbers, if it's a 7.5 or at least a 7 and above, I at least would give it a B. That's why I say kind of B minus. I guess how I go about it is like, when I listen to an album for the day, do I feel like I need to turn this off? None of them I felt like I needed to do that, except What The. That was the only album I'm like, I gotta push through this. All the rest, I can at least pick out songs, at least like them in the production, and also too, I'm a big metalhead, so when I hear songs that are like that borderline metal, I'm going to listen to them more and more because it scratches the itch if you will, for the guitar work. Man, if they just would have went that way, we would have had a whole different conversation right now.
Yeah.
But that's the unholiness of punk rock. You don't want to go down that path. You don't want to go down hardcore. You don't want to do that. They want you to be punk and punk forever. They want to have the gates, keys to the gate. You are not allowed to leave. This is they're our band. You're not supposed to like them. That's our stuff.
Right.
You know, it's the punk rock stuff. I understand, and I appreciate that. I really do, because I like holding the keys to the gate of thrash metal. That's me. I like holding the keys to that. That is my genre. That's the underground stuff. You know what I mean? So middle tier. So Black Coffee is middle tier, but it's kind of you can listen to it over Black Coffee. In my head, it's kind of one of those on the lawnmower. You can listen to it, and Ghetto is just terrible.
Yep.
I can least appreciate the music and pull out stuff. If I can pull songs out, I can at least justify my ratings at that time. And fuck it. That's right. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But the best part of the show, the wheel of destiny.
Destiny.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Sharks, what would you think Black Flag for you? Did you listen to all the Black Flags? Or are you just like your tier list of Colorado? Did you ever listen to Black Flag or anything? I think I listened to more Henry Rollins back in the day than Black Flag itself.
Oh, I definitely was more of a Rollins band guy.
I don't think they're on that list either. Could have put them on it. I will put them average overall. Fair enough. Maybe I am being generous because Henry Rollins is kind of an idol for me. I feel Rollins is that.
Well, he's done a lot of stuff too.
Like I know.
He's been in
you know what, Shark? Dude, you caught me. You're good. I'll give them a B- to a C+. You're right. He's right. I feel like I kind of gave him a little bit more because of Rollins. I really did. I'll give him a C+. I'll give him a C+. They were better at Gorgoth.
Oh.
They're way better at Gorgoth. Well, you know, out of all the bands and everything, I might come back. I did pull some of their songs. What is it? And put it on. If another thing that I do. I'm glad I could sway you. Yeah, thanks. If I could pull songs to throw them to my gym list, that gives it a little bit more of a brownie point for me too. Because I listen to that gym list 5-6 days every morning. If that song comes on, am I going to like it? Of course. I don't put crap on my gym list because I don't want to skip over stuff, right? That's another thing. I'll go B-. All right, son of a bitch. God. All right.
So you're giving it like an 85.
Maybe like,
I don't even know what the grading scale is anymore.
You're right. A C is 85. A C- would be like 80 to like 79.
Yeah, so
all
like
right.
an 85, 86.
Are you looking at that screen? Look at the screen.
It's all being...
I am jumbling up. I have been accused.
Jumbling.
I'm James' sister, by the way.
Oh, that's me. That's my sister.
Okay. Welcome, Shark. That's weird. I just call her Shark. We'll keep it professional. I'm the shape.
You're the shape. She's the shark.
You're O'Sullivan.
Yep.
And Hyde. All right. We've been accused of doing too much death metal or something like that. I will always do this and show that I'm changing it. Because it was kind of funny how you got two death metals after each other. Thank you for coming to the show. I'm serious.
it,
Thank you.
it was gonna be 3, and then we
That is true. It was going to be three. It was Gorgoth, and then it was Dark Funeral.
yep.
And what was the other one? I can't remember the other one.
Cannibal Corpse.
But we did do Cannibal Corpse.
I know we did Cannibal, but it was Cannibal Corpse. It was like Gorgoth, Cannibal Corpse, and then like Dark Funeral showed
Yes,
up.
it was. That's right.
And then we're like, okay.
Then the New York Dolls came up.
Yep.
And that's what we did.
Yep, that's what we did.
Accept.
Accept.
Oh, yes. Accept, everybody. I don't even have to look at the freaking Wikipedia. This is a lot of albums here. This is a lot of albums.
A lot of albums, yeah.
This, my friend.
It might be a two-parter.
I know there's over 12 albums. I know it. But, you know, Accept, they are a German band that had one of the most identifiable lead singer, Udo, what was his name? Balls to the Wall, dude.
Oh wow, they just put out another album.
Yes,
Holy
they did.
shit!
And I have not listened to it. So their lead singer was identical, blonde hair, whatever. Now he has his own band. I forgot his name. I know it's Udo. The guitarist is Wolfgang or Wolf, something Wolf. He's been the constant.
That's like 21 albums, dude.
There is a lot of albums. There is a lot of albums. So.
And they're probably not short songs either.
Nope. I've listened to at least half of them. So their latest singer has been with them for almost 20 years or so. So they've had a constant Mark Toriano. He has a great voice. Oh, I love his voice. I got into them probably like 10 years ago, and I really haven't listened to them here lately. The guitar work,
they are. Yeah.
Guitar work is amazing. I think it's that dual guitar stuff. They brought that out. Hey, you have to remember, they're the first band to have double bass throughout the whole song. All Fast as a Shark. That was pinpoint drum level in '83. That was
off of Balls to the Wall.
Fast as a Shark, constant double bass the whole way. That's where a lot of people said, "Can you play Fast as a Shark?" He's like, "Yeah, okay, let's play it." Good. Cool.
All right. Well, all right. This one says 17 if we're doing Wikipedia studio albums.
Doing studio albums.
So 17. So all right, but still, that's gonna be. I guess I better start listening now.
Accept is a kind of a thrashy metal, Iron Maiden-esque.
Oh, I've heard of
Yeah, I love me some Accept. I'm pretty stoked about it. Back to the metal, back to the thrashy, heavy metal.
And we don't care. We love it.
That's right. All right, John. You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you again for everybody coming out. Shark, thank you. My brother coming out, appreciate it.
Everyone listen to Accept.
Yes. I want you to give me a report back of Accept. I want your ratings of what you think. Put it in the comments what you thought about tonight's show, what you rank Black Flag. And just come to Twitter, come to my page, see what time. Usually we'll do these at 8 o'clock, Saturday or Sunday. But
don't come to Twitter. You don't like Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Well, just
all right, fine. Come to Twitter.
Just be ready. Just be ready. Put a notification on YouTube so you know when we're going to jump on. We might do it this weekend. I don't know. This is going to be very interesting if we can get through these albums.
17 is a lot.
Dream Theater's up there. We can do it.
Well, we did, 11? But that was just because we're like, hey, we're doing Mike Portnoy because it's
Yeah,
Mike Portnoy's birthday.
and
But anyway, that was...
You figured the Mangini was the only one you had to really go over, which was 5. You really wanted to listen to 5. All the rest, you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I remember this one. Stuff like that. All right.
Yep.
Well, guys, until next time.
Should we do that? Should we do Dream Theater Part 2, the Mangini years?
We already did the show, so
It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. We do have a special thing we'll tell you about next week. We are planning. We'll let it be. Be there. We might tell you.
You'll never know.
You never know. All right, John, thank you for being here.
Yeah, man.
Guys, thank you.
Absolutely.
Until next time. See you.
Later.